order. Roll call. Michelle Hanlon and Michelle LaRose are both absent tonight. Stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The approval of the agenda. We do have a correction here. We need to remove 14C, DHD number 4, additional allocation request of 5%. Again, I would make a motion that we accept the agenda after removing 14C from the agenda. Do I have support?
You have support.
Motion and support. Discussion. All in favor say yes. Yes. Opposed, no. Agenda has been amended. Approval of the minutes from January 22, 2026. I'd make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Bob seconds. Thank you. We have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. And the minutes have been accepted. We have the claims and accounts for January 2023, 2026 through February 12, 2026. The claims are $80,452.34. EFTs, $220,928.55. Desk checks, $71,378.59 for a grand total of $372,759.48. I make a motion to accept the claims and accounts as presented. Do I have support?
You have support.
We have motion and support. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Bob?
Yes.
Hardys?
Yes.
Peltier?
Yes.
Claims and accounts passed. Limited public comment. We have a 3-minute comment, and I'm just going to review. I've been reading our updated board policy from July. Per our board policy, I remind speakers that public comment must not include personal attacks on individuals or staff. It includes not naming a position such as clerk, treasurer, controller that also is an identifying title. Staff and county officials are to request to be on the agenda to speak and not use the public's time. Any public comment? No public comments. Special presentations? None. Treasurer Lindsay?
Hello. Just a quick update over the last couple months of what we've been doing. December board review adjustments have been processed and all 2025 invoices and payments have been completed. Swamp tax was received with $285,095.68 being the county's portion. Township disbursements were made on December 19th. The annual show cause hearing was held on January 7th. I entered into 9 new hardship agreements that allow taxpayers to make monthly payments in lieu of their property being foreclosed. I hosted another successful treasurer talks with local treasurers on January 22nd. Some topics that we talked about were settlement, commercial forest, and postmark legislation.
Lindsay, you said 9, but you wrote 6. Which one is it?
For what?
Your hardship agreement?
No, oh yes, I wrote 6, 9.
Okay.
9 is updated. Yes, I'm sorry. I just verified it today.
Since you printed it, you got 3 more, or you just missed?
No, I mistyped it last night. I was going a little bit fast. But I literally just typed them out for my staff, so I know that there's 9.
Okay.
In regard to the front page article that we saw a couple weeks ago in the Tribune, I wanted to give you guys a quick update in the case. The claims of equitable estoppel, substantive due process, and quiet title were dismissed. At this point, the case will continue with discovery, and if appropriate, another motion for summary disposition will be filed. The first round of litigation has been in favor of Montmorency County. February has been extremely busy with taxpayers making final payments before March 1st to avoid forfeiture and foreclosure. We're receiving 5 to 6 a day, which is awesome. The foreclosure hearing was originally scheduled for February 9th, but was rescheduled for February 23rd on the court's own motion. The court is re-noticing all that are involved. I did reach out to my legal counsel just to make sure. And he said because it was on the court's own motion that I didn't have to call all of the people that are on my list. So did clear that with him. This hearing for 2023 taxes that remain unpaid, and we currently have 82 parcels, which today I think we took in 5. So it's constantly going down. We anticipate less than 10 to reach the auction. Hopefully less than 5. March 2nd is the last day to make 2025 summer and winter tax payments to the local township. That's because the last day in February falls on a Saturday, I think it is Saturday. So townships are March 2nd. I will be entering all unpaid delinquents into forfeiture status on the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. And that's when the settlement process can technically start. The Fox versus Saginaw settlement is still ever evolving. In addition to our $20,000 shared contribution that we made last year, we had an additional $12,500 paid in January that's shared. So every county that's in the settlement had to pay that in January. I think the deadline for any of those wanting to opt into it, I think is in March. They've been throwing so many dates, but it's coming very closely. Just something to keep you guys on in the radar. Hung versus Isabella. It's a case in the U.S. Supreme Court right now stemming from Isabella County in Michigan. The Supreme Court hearing is scheduled for February 25th. I think it's at 10 a.m. Treasurers across the country will be tuning in. I will be presenting to you guys next month with an update. So there's so much that is involved with this Hung versus Isabella. And because it's going to Supreme Court on the 25th, MACT, the County Treasurers Association, legal counsel has said that they're going to give us just specific talking points. And I'm going to be requesting a closed session just so that you guys, he said that I have to request a closed session. I don't know why, it's not current litigation with us. But anyways, we'll know a lot more after the 25th of how that's going to go. But if you want to, just to do some research, search up Hung versus Isabella on the internet. There's a lot of stuff going on. 2020 and prior excess proceed motions have all been heard in circuit court, and Montmorency County was ordered to pay the following, totaling $155,790.48. I broke it down there for you guys. This is such a relief to have this done, 2020 and prior. This is all stemming off of the 78T Raffaele cases. And this was their last time, their last chance for 2020s and prior to claim their excess proceeds. As you can see on there, there was a couple that were denied, 2013 and 2014's Judge Black, actually, and my attorney agreed with them, but said that it was past the point of redemption. So those just naturally got denied. And then we did go into one extra court hearing with PNC in specific. They were the mortgage holder. They weren't even the landowner. And they were filing for excess proceeds on it, in which they couldn't even prove that the date that the mortgages weren't paid. There was a whole bunch of things, but pretty much what's happening around the state with a lot of these cases is a lot of the mortgage companies coming and saying, we want our pennies, and we beat them. So they were denied. But every person that legitimately filed a motion, they absolutely had rights to, as an heir. We did disperse two estates. But other than that, every person that applied, we gave it to them. We didn't even fight it.
And again, nothing from 2020.
Prior can now be claimed.
Good.
Yep. So that's done. Which is nice because it's now a little bit more solid number to work with on the surplus deeming this year. PSNA payments have been going smooth for my office and others since September. We went live in July. July to September is a lot of work in my office right now. But because of the difficulties of this transition, I met with the executives to make sure Montmorency receives priority customer service. They have developed a special team and assigned me an individual representative in our county, really. To make sure things continue to progress. During one meeting, it was discovered that we can make taking phone payments much easier. I will be traveling to all departments this week to update them and walk them through the new, better, and easier process. I've also made office-specific laminated directions with screenshots to help with the change. So I did that in July when we went live, just so if there was like a freak out moment, they had screenshots and everything. It was like their cheat sheets. I went to the clerk's office today. I did probate court today, register deeds and district court, and have them all up and running with it. They're really, really happy, right?
Yes, and I actually used it today and took a payment. and
Good.
We're just fine.
We have been testing it in my office for 2 weeks just to make sure that it was going to be a smooth transition. And it has been. So like I said, I went live with everybody else today. It just makes the process, the payment taking process a whole lot easier for them. So that was good news. I attended the MAT Winter Conference last week. Topics were mortgage foreclosure, service animals, very interesting, by the way. Foreclosure prevention, record retention, PILT, data centers, tax abatement, conservation easements, PREs, and brownfields, and of course the tons of networking that I did. And then MACT has named me their representative to UCOA, United County Officers Association. And then I've also been appointed to the UCOA Education Committee. So I'm off and running with that, planning education sessions specifically for treasurers that we are getting specific education at the UCOA meeting. So it's been a little bit busy, but I think that's what's going on. We're about to ramp up for another busy settlement season. And hopefully it should be smooth.
How many did we have last year? You said you're hoping for less than 10, but going.
Actually went to sale 8 parcels. Yeah, last
Same
year.
amount, then.
So I did have 3 hardships that I re-granted this year. And I will be updating my hardship policy just a little bit. It's really just going to mirror what statute says. But in the past, previous treasurers have allowed, if you do a successful hardship payment or hardship agreement, I'm sorry, there's option A, B, and C, okay? And I know Sherry did option C. And what that does is it allows, it only gives you a 1-year hardship agreement. So it's 1 year, you're done for that specific year. But if you successfully complete it, you can get all of your interest back. So it's a really big win-win, especially for some of these people, you know, like this year, we are on 2023 taxes right now. So some of them can accrue $200, $500, $800 that they're paying in interest, not base tax, but interest. So if they successfully complete this hardship program with me, then I refund all of the interest that they have paid for their 23s and apply it on their 24s. It's a really great way. So I'm thankful that Sherry did that in the past. I'm going to continue doing that. Every one of the hardship agreements, they are in financial hurt, and it's what we do. So anyways, it's been a pretty successful program so far, my hardships last year. So looking forward to another one this year. Have any questions?
Questions?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mini reports, Bob?
Things are pretty much the same at the landfill. The tonnage is down a little, and something kind of new is we're looking into expanding the area that is allowed to use our injection well. There'll be probably well over a year of permitting issues, but if we ever get that to pass, it could be a substantial income for the Tri-County landfill. Something to look forward to. And
How far are they looking out? Who's interested?
it'd be pretty much the whole state of Michigan as far as I
Oh.
know, because the injection well is capable of taking an infinite amount of liquids down there because it's so deep in it, just you can't fill it up ever.
Right.
So we can take as much as we want in basically, and we'll pay pretty good money to use that. So it could be a really good thing for the Tri-County landfill.
Anything else?
I've got 4 reports. My first one is on Thunder Bay Transportation. We had a special meeting. Last month, we did not have the grant paperwork filled out properly for our main bulk of the money that we exist on. So we had to have a special meeting so that we could approve the grant and the everything, the money amount and everything. That was on February 4th, 2 p.m. And then our regular board meeting on the 22nd was it was a pretty quick meeting. There wasn't a whole lot going on. We've gotten all of the roofing material. We've had that for a couple of weeks now, but because the weather's been so bad and especially the wind being so high, you couldn't put anybody up on that roof. So now that things have calmed down, when I drove by there earlier, I saw that the teams were up there on the roof. And they've begun that project. We have several things, got some new service starting out in February 2nd throughout Alpena County. And these are special, what they call it, contract riders. We contacted them with our postcard program. That's going real good. Community foundations, we received our grant to redo our Boys and Girls Club this during the summer vacation. That was a huge success last year, absolutely huge. So we put in for the grant again, and we got that grant. Pace has contracted with Thunder Bay for all of their transportation. At first, they were going to get vehicles and have a few, 1 or 2 on site, but things have worked out so good with Thunder Bay, they dropped their portion of what they wanted to get for vehicles, and Thunder Bay Transportation is now contracted for everything that Pace has. And that DART program, it's what is this? $1 a ride is something they established in the Alpine area, and that's going fabulous. So that's all I have for Thunder Bay Transportation. NEMSCA, we met just last weekend, Friday, and we've got our new meeting schedules. One of the big things you'll see is we're cutting down on meetings. We've gone from 12 meetings every year to just 8. So a lot of work in the office, less work for the board. So, but they're doing a great job. I cannot fault them on what they're doing. Our programs for self-sufficiency is going really good. That's going better now than it has ever gone before. Doing a great job on those. Our housing programs is going gangbusters. They have we had one young couple just had a brand new baby. They're all approved. Everything's all set up for them. Can't mention any names, but that's going really good. Our water program, we've helped out 223 individuals, 81 households with a total of $41,606. So that's pretty good. And of course, our weatherization program has been going fabulous. They keep looking for more and more workers so they can put more teams together. There's so many people that have come forward and said, well, I really need some help. My gas bill is just horrible. And of course, we don't have enough people. So we've got a list, and we'll go down the list cross the names off as we finish the project, but if we could put 10 teams together, we could keep all 10 teams going. So that's my NEMSCO report. And then I just came from Northeast Michigan Community Mental Health. I am also on the advisory council. We meet every 2 months, the Monday before our regular board meeting. We put a brand new calendar for them. And once a year, we schedule the advisory council members to sit in and hold their meeting with our regular board meeting. This has been working out real good in the past because a lot of times the advisory board doesn't have a clue what's going on in the regular board. So we invite them. I think last year was the first time we did that. And they get to sit in on the regular board meeting when it's time, because there is a spot on the agenda for the advisory board. I sit on that board and I'll give a committee report just like right now to the board members. But on this one, the advisory board members are actually allowed to participate and contribute to the regular board meeting. So helps them out a lot. They got a better understanding how we work, and then they can take that back to the regular advisory meetings and be a lot more productive. The board today, we had the biggest news. Northeast Michigan Mental Health had a lawsuit going against there's a lawsuit that they want to privatize a lot of the services that we do right now. But when they privatize it, there's a lot of people that are going to get cut out. And of course, prices are going to go way up. We took them to court and we won. So they're not going to be able to take over. Bad thing is, this is the second attempt and we don't see an end to it. They want this. They're going after it like sharks in the water. So we're already gearing up now for another fight, but more to come. Another thing that they had a big conversation in our staff meeting today, and it was a short staff meeting. Staff treatment. We've had a lot of people leaving, and it wasn't because we closed some homes. There are like 90-some people that left. And what mental health is now enacting is exit interviews. Right now they are, if you want to participate, fine. If you don't have to. But we're gleaning a lot of information out of these exit interviews that we're hoping to help retain the people that we now have. 90 people are a lot of people to get rid of. There, some of that 90, it's not because of the homes that closed. These are 90 people that just dissatisfied with their job for, I think they had 5 different reasons: pay, different things. But got to do something about that. So exit interviews is one of the tools that they're using. And they're going to put it into a new program called the treatment of individuals. So that's all I have.
Okay, and I had FPS and I had District 4 back on January 30th. We had a special meeting, and that meeting was called because we were at a $402,000 deficit. Actually started at $499,979. With cuts that we made that night, we changed we went to one IT instead of two, so we had to let go one staff there. The other things were we eliminated two health environment positions for more savings. They changed their bookkeeping system that was costing a lot of money. We were supposed to be requesting an increase in appropriations, which we did not need to do. There was a rent reduction that was going to be requested of Alpena that was not done as well. We changed the Hillman School Wellness Program. The contract is terminated, and there's going to be a soft handover to another entity for hopefully in April here. That's going to take that on. That was of no budget effect, but just for personnel reasons. For staffing, there was an increase in environmental health fees and just regular items such as updating the health board meeting schedule and those kind of things. We also resolved to send a resolution for enhanced financial transparency and fiscal oversight to a lawyer for review. We're waiting back on that. The good news is we will not be requesting any further county appropriations at this point. On February 9th, we received confirmation that DHD4 was receiving a $125,000 grant from Northern Michigan Health Consortium and another $125,000 from an anonymous grantor that we can't involve at this point. So that was good information. So we will continue to go from there. We will see if we're able to bring anybody back from any of those positions we had to cut. That will be seen if there's going to be opportunities there. Seems like there was one more thing. No, I believe that was it. So basically with the addition of those two grants, that puts us in a good fiscal period point at this point. So with the and so that's why we were able to remove that from our agenda tonight. And that was it for my report.
Do you want to note the FPS for the grant that we're going?
Oh,
It's in the minutes, but just in case you want to make notice of it.
why don't you give that grant? Because I don't have it right here in front of me.
I let them know in FPS that Sarah and I are working with a company to work on a critical incident mapping system for the county. So we would basically, we're hoping to get mapping for the county itself, the sheriff's department, and possibly another entity in the county, maybe the road commission. And the grant is up to $25,000. It could possibly be $25,000 for each place, but it could be probably more like $25,000. But they would come in and they basically write the grant for you, do the work and paid for it. It's no money out of the pocket whatsoever for the county itself. It's just a grant. If we get it, there's a few of them that are given out throughout the county, throughout Michigan. So if we qualify for it, we could get some updated mapping systems for the county. So Sarah and I are working on that.
And what is the turnaround time for that? When are we gonna know?
They finalize everything beginning of March.
So it's not too far down the road.
Can I add something?
Yes.
I've reported several times on PACE.
Yeah.
The new building is right across the street from NEMSCA, and they were part of NEMSCA, working out of our NEMSCA building, but that building is complete. And as of February 2nd, they are up and running. They're now taking applications for senior adults daycare. They've got all their staff filled. Everything's ready to go. They just finished their transportation with Thunder Bay Transportation. Everything is good to go now. So
We're gonna be taking people then.
yeah, that's not one of our committees. There are no commissioners sitting on their board, but I had a long talk with Jeff. He's on the Thunder Bay Transportation Board, and he says February 2nd, we're up and running. So if anybody has a senior adults that they would like to have daycare for, go and see PACE.
And they were providing the transportation for
Yes.
that, and that was our county?
Yes, it's all of the counties, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And controllers report?
I have completed the the project A and B for FEMA, category A and B projects, those have been approved and obligated, and we did receive the funding for 75% of those already. The donated resources project is completed. I'm waiting for them to obligate that. When that happens, that means we'll get the funding, the other 25% of those other funding, because we've met our donated side of it. Once they have all three obligated, then they give me an amount that we can submit for category Z, which is management expenses. So that's to recoup the time and money for the work that I put into these projects. You get funding. All in all, we're looking at estimating approximately $70,000 from these projects, and that means we would recoup all of our expenses from the storm.
Yeah.
And that'll all go back into the county improvement fund, which we use to fund this event. MEDC grant, we met with MEDC and all the emergency managers from the 12 county area that were touched in the storm. They have the opportunity to jump in on this $200,000 food bank recovery. So if each county emergency manager says, yes, we're going to take that funding, if all 12 do it, we'll divide that 200,000 among the 12 and distribute that money to each county, and then they will give it to their own food banks within their county. So this way, all 12 counties are receiving money to those specific food banks. And the county gets to choose if they're gonna do it. If they don't wanna do it, then we'll split it among 10 or whatever. It just, the county is gonna be responsible for distributing that to their food banks.
Oh,
We did receive the money back from the generator expenses, so that's been reimbursed. So that's all taken care of too. Website, the state of Michigan did require an opioid settlement update to be submitted showing how much we have received from each settlement, what expenses have been completed with those funds. That has been completed, sent to the state, and they've given me acknowledgement that they received it. It's also on our website, so if you want to look at it, you can. I also put up there an ARPA fund summary. It shows the expenditures that we spent with the ARPA funds. So it breaks it down, shows you where everything went. That's on our website. There's also the materials management page. We've had that for a while, but I've updated it with our current work plan. It has, the survey resources to it. So every time we get new information that's for the public, I'll keep putting it on that website on our county website on that page for people to get access to it. I also, if you ever need a request form of any sort, they're all on our website for you guys to get. And then also all the financial data is up to date, means our audits, appropriation acts, budgets, everything is on the website if you need it. Just some quick updates. The auditors will be on site starting Tuesday, April 21st. We'll be set up in the boardroom for that. Hopefully we'll only be here Tuesday and Wednesday. I know we have a board meeting on Thursday, so we're hoping that they'll be gone before then. They usually are only here for a couple days unless something comes up, but that's where we're at with that. Open enrollment ended on the end of last week. So that's all done. Everybody enrolled. We got that all taken care of. We did our first meeting with Valley so they could go over like just the change of what it looks like going from Priority Health to Blue Cross so they can understand and ask questions. We had some attendance to that. I then took that presentation, emailed it out to everybody that has insurance with us. And so they had the presentation and told them we'll have another one on the 17th. If they have questions, they can still come to that. So we'll have another one on the 17th at 2 p.m.
Did anything come up that we hadn't anticipated?
Everybody got the questions answered. A lot of questions mostly on like medications and, certain like chiropractic coverages and just like little questions like that are mostly going to be specific to the employee. So they have to dig in deeper to their specific circumstances, but there was just a few general questions. We have a meeting scheduled on the 23rd with Eagle and the MMP. So we're going to be discussing reimbursement and the reporting processes. We're still kind of going back and forth on that. I have the reimbursement for all the expenses we put together this year, or since 2024, actually. I have the reimbursement request ready to go. I'm just waiting for this meeting to see what other information they're going to ask of us, if Alpena has to sign off on it, or if we have to sign off on it, to get reimbursed about, I want to say we're up to about $30,000, just over $30,000 that we'll get back from the grant, if everything goes through. That's money we've paid to Alpena for this MMP so far. I'll let you know when we find out on that. This problem is the MMP, when we originally signed our agreement with the 5 counties, it states in there that Alpena was our designated planning agency and they are supposed to be doing the reporting. But now they're saying that each county has to do the reporting. So there's just some miscommunication we need to iron out. So we're trying to figure that out. I met with Chad we are gonna put together a scope for all the projects that need to be done at the sheriff's department, so we can get estimates in for those projects. He's still having some issues in the server room, so he's gonna have the plumber out again to scope and find out what's causing the issue. And, him and I did talk again about the access systems and the cameras, and we do have a couple quotes in for those, so hopefully should have some answers on those pretty soon. I met with the court administrators. That was me, Kristen, Luke, and Jody, and we kind of just went over streamlining the process for initiating any emergent closures, weather related or, you know, big circumstances that might happen. So we kind of have a process together so that we can all, it's hard to close the building down when you have courts involved because you got to make sure court dockets match up and, you know, they have to do a bid process. So we talked about a way to handle that. We were all ready for that. The agreement for the equalization director has been approved by the attorney and signed by all parties, and I gave a copy to you guys in your email. I did send over a draft ordinance review for the soil erosion to the attorney. I did just get that back today, and I sent it to Joe to look at it, see if he had any questions on it, and then I'll probably put it on the next agenda for us to review and approve it. And in that same time, I will also probably put the fee structure in front of you guys for approval, because we had talked, this is how this started, is we originally talked about changing our fee structure for the soil erosion permits. We noticed that the resolution was from like 1990, so we needed to make some updates. And there's a lot of things we don't do anymore that were still in that resolution, so we'll cover all those bases.
Still gonna present that then, or?
I will ask him if he can be there. Or at least online if you can.
Right, so we,
Yep.
any questions?
And then I just wanted to tell you that Dan Oliver wanted to let everybody know, thank you for that request. They received those products that they needed for their meetings and at the Thunder Bay Clinic, and he said, I'm gonna tell you guys, thank you for that. The last thing on here is I just wanted to let you know, we were Sarah got reached by Canna Creek Ranch. They're looking at trying to, get some AI powered wildlife fire detection with the state. And they're just asking for letters of support for this project. And so I gave you guys a copy in your email, and if you're okay with, I will send this out to them so they can use it. So we're supporting the project.
Is there anybody that does not want this sent out? I agree that it needs to be sent.
Need a motion?
So what is training technology?
It's basically an IA tool. It's supposed to notify if for fire, it can detect when fire, I'm not sure exactly how it works. Don't ask me, that's not my specialty, but I'm assuming it probably works on heat detection and things like that to tell you when something's sparked up or changing in levels that they can notify. It's a lot of cameras. It's very expensive. I don't know if the state will get on board with it, but it's a pretty cool option with what we've experienced with the ice storm to have something like that out there.
I think it detects smoke too,
Yeah.
like in air quality and things like that, so that they can.
Looking at
You
putting
need a motion on that?
places on the.
As long as you guys are okay with it, I can mail that out.
Cover a whole lot of area.
Well, this isn't for us. This is just that we support Canada Creek's efforts to do it, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just to help coordinate wildfire response is basically what it comes down to. The system offers early threat detection, immediate notification of confirmed fire incidents, and real-time visual intelligence. It's tools that support smarter decision-making and improve protection of lives, property, and natural resources.
Yeah, this is just a letter.
And I will tell you, it is a very, 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 very expensive project. So, you know, it could be a long time before something like this can actually happen if the state wasn't on board with it.
Just want to make sure it wasn't the whole county that's on the hook for a
No,
very, very
no,
expensive
no.
system.
No, it's not ours, it's theirs. Because it's just a letter.
It's just a letter
We don't
supporting
need
the
a motion.
process of looking for funding for it is basically what they're doing.
There's three of you. Do you support sending the letter?
Yes.
I support sending the letter. Do you support sending the
Yeah,
letter?
okay.
I will email it out to them. That's it for me.
New business, the Elbert Township Planning Committee zoning ordinance. This is, I had brought this to us earlier. So this is, I did.
No, we did the master plan last time. This is the zoning ordinance. They have a change in the zoning ordinance. We do not have a planning commission. We do not have a county-wide planning commission. So this is the typical, we waive our
Right.
right to review.
Yes. So I'd make a motion to waive our right to review the Albert Township Planning Commission zoning ordinance. Is there a number to it? Per their January 28th, 2026 public hearing.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? That should be sufficient, just stating that date. No discussion?
So it was your motion to waive our right to review the Albert Township Planning Commission zoning ordinance for their January 28th, you said,
Yes,
2026 public hearing?
yes,
Oh, just want to make sure I have it right.
that'll just define it. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Waiver passes. The second one is like it, Greenwood Township Master Plan. It's a request for a waiver for review.
I can read this to you. You might ask why Greenwood Township, why we care. So please be advised that the Northeast Michigan Council of Governments, in coordination with Greenwood Township, has completed an update to their Greenwood Township Master Plan. The Greenwood Township Board has approved the draft master plan for distribution to adjacent communities and all required agencies. In accordance with Public Act 33 of 2008, as amended, your community agency has 63 days from receipt of this notice to review the draft plan and submit any comments. Please forward the draft to your planning commission and any other relevant parties for review. So because we're an adjacent community, we have the right to review on it, so you can waive this as well.
I'd make a motion to waive our right to review the Greenwood Township Master Plan for the February 3rd, 2026 request.
I'll second that.
Master plan from
Greenwood Township.
Greenwood Township,
what master plan?
Greenwood
Yeah,
Township.
from what was the date? I mean,
I'm sorry, February 3rd, 2026.
to. I can't hear.
They're having a public hearing on April 21st. So this is our chance to put comments towards that date.
So what date did you say? February?
That's when they sent the email.
For this request,
So February 3rd.
yes.
There won't be any voting on if the public in general agree with what they're doing. Or
Well,
is it
that's
just a
up to-
discussion after.
Yeah, that's up to them. That their public hearing is April 21st, it says.
We have to put in commentary now if we had anything to say on it. If we are reviewing it and commenting on it, so we're waiving that right to comment. Then they'll have their public comment, their public notice for it. They'll meet with the people and then they'll take all those comments. And then they'll have another meeting to actually approve it, usually is how that works. And so we'll probably get another one asking us.
Right,
Did anybody second your motion?
yes, like it. Any further questions? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes, opposed, no. Waiver granted. And without objection, we will adjourn 6:43.